What's up, guys? So I'm kind of going to do something a little bit different on my channel. You know, my channel is always all over the place, you know, from my beginning to now. So why not go in another direction? Pretty much, earlier this year, before I bought my KLR 650, I was looking at a camper, and I was looking at one a little bit bigger than this, but I didn't want a big one, you know. I was looking at one around the 2,000 price mark, and it was a camper and a toy hauler. It was probably a 20-footer with a toy hauler on the back, not an enclosed toy hauler, just like a deck that you could, you know, had a door to go lead out to that, and then it was like an all-metal deck for hauling toys and stuff, or just, you know, a deck to walk on or sit on or whatever you want. But pretty much, you know, I've been looking for a camper since then because I went ahead and bought the KLR, as you know, and didn't get the camper. But I've been wanting a camper for quite a while, and every time I see them, you know, they're wanting a lot of money, or there's no title, or they're completely gutted, or they're completely leaking and need everything, you know, and just pretty much they're going to be scrapped to the frame. This one's the different story. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for it, because I kind of want, you know, some of you to guess. I just want to know what something like this might be worth in your area, and then I'll tell you, because it was online for a little bit, so to kind of give you an idea, it was online for a while, and probably a week or so, and a lot of people interested. Nobody ever went to look at it. Nobody ever, you know, tried to offer them nothing. A lot of people asking what the bottom dollar was, that kind of thing, you know, because it's an older camper. It's a 1972 Aristocrat is what it is. And if you've ever looked up an Aristocrat camper, there's a lot of different models. This is the 15-footer, to give you an idea. So I kind of want to know what you guys think I paid for this, and maybe like what something like this in your area would go for. Let me give you a little bit of information about it. The tires on it are good. I mean, they're probably almost new. There's no dry rotting on them at all, and you know, I could probably stick not a half a quarter, but a third of a quarter down in the treads. So I mean, they're not dry rot at all. They're really good. So keep that in mind. Let me turn this radio down. The furnace is right there. It works. There's a newer fridge in here. It works. Stove works. And there's a toilet that works. Okay, so everything works. All the lights work, except the running lights up top, these orange ones. But I think you know, just some bulbs, or possibly rewiring them, and they'll be ready to go. You don't have to have them. It's not a big deal, but it's nice if you're pulling down the interstate to have some kind of lights like that. The AC works, and pretty much it's a new one. They said it'll freeze you out of there pretty much. The brake lights are aftermarket, so, but anyway, we'll get to all that, you know. But anyway, to kind of give you an idea here of what it is. You know, it's nothing major. It's a 15-footer. It sleeps 4 people comfortably. It might sleep 5 uncomfortably. But, you know, I've only got me and my wife and 2 kids, so that's not a whole lot. But anyway, when we got it, we was told that the previous owners before them said there was a leak in the roof, but it turned out to just be the roof vent that was open just a bit. But they ended up resilvering the entire roof up there. You can kind of see they kind of made a mess there on that corner. But that can all get cleaned up. They kind of started to paint it because they come from Texas to Missouri and stayed up here, and this is what they kind of stayed in while they were up here. So it's, you know, that's one thing that caught my attention, because it was already hooked up to power, it was hooked up to sewer, and it was hooked up to water. So everything works. And let me give you a little bit of tour of the inside. You know, if you've seen the inside of one of these campers, you got an idea of what everything is. I mean, pretty basic. You know, this table drops down and it sits on these 2 runners here, and then it's flat, and then you got cushions for the bed. You know, all the cushions lay down, and then you've got a bed. You know, all 4 of them will go just like they are, but you know, laying 2 here in the middle. Then you've got a bed, so that would pretty much be the kids' bed. This here, actually, these cushions come off, flips out, and then those cushions go on there, and you've got a bed all the way out to here. So that's pretty well, I would guess, a full-size bed. You know, just enough to get you by. I mean, when we go camping, we usually have a queen air mattress and a tent, but we kind of want to get away from that. So we're hoping that this is going to be something that we can use. I mean, it's still at the end of the day a little bit small, but you know, it's not too small. You know, it's manageable. But pretty much, you know, it's going to need cosmetic. You know, you got storage under here, and that flips open in the back, so you've got storage back, you know, to get to it from 2 ways. The bathroom needs a lot of work. There's no actual leaks in here right now that's wet, because, you know, we've had a lot of rain here in the last month, and I haven't found anything actually wet. But there's a lot of stuff that, you know, that possibly has been wet, you know. So that's my major thing before the, I haven't actually looked in here. Whole lot of nothing. But, that'll be one thing before the winter. We're going to make sure the roof's good, which we're pretty sure it is. We're just going to make sure. And then I'm going to go around and take all the trim off all the outside corners and you know, re-seal everything and make sure the outside's waterproof before I start on the inside. But pretty much all these cushions come up, and you've got storage under here, storage under this cushion, and then behind this wall from there is storage, but it's accessed from the outside. And I'm guessing that's probably where the batteries went, because I know they told me that this light here works off battery. Everything else has electric, you know, like those are all electric when you plug in. And there's a couple aftermarket plugs in here. I'm not sure where they said they were. Oh, there's one there, and there's one there. So that's something I'm going to kind of fix. I don't like how they're, you know, electrical boxes exposed like that, out and out. And the AC, like that board there is good on the inside, but the one on the outside is like a fiber board, a glue board, and that needs replaced. So you got more storage up here, more storage over here. And that's what I like, you know. I want to be able to go camping, come home, and not really have to unpack anything but our bedding and clothes, you know. I want to be able to park this trailer and I'm done, you know, because after camping, you're just worn out, you know. So you got a shelf up there, more storage in here. Storage up there, of course, and that's probably about it. Besides all the drawers, you know, you got drawers here, cabinets there. I mean, there's a wheel well under there, so you don't got a lot of room, and there's a wheel well under here. But as far as everything goes, I mean, everything works. I don't know if the pump's here, because I looked behind this drawer and there's a wire hanging, so I'm guessing either the pump's gone completely or it's just not hooked up, because I've never owned a camper, so I don't know how this works. I'm guessing this is cold. It has a C on it, so I'm guessing that's just cold tap water. And this is possibly, I don't know, some other, either more cold water, or maybe there was a way that you had hot water in here, or that was the pumped water from the pump tank. You know, that may be what that is. This is probably water straight from the outside faucet, you know, from your hose hookup. And this is probably your pump water. I'm not sure, maybe vice versa there. So you can kind of see up here, that's all there. I don't know how this would have plugged in, because, you know, I guess maybe they ran an extension cord, but I'm guessing there was some kind of wall socket up here, because all of this has been replaced. I mean, all that's been replaced, because if you look up here, there's the original wallpaper there. Look at that pretty stuff. Ain't that just beautiful? So that's what the original wallpaper looked like. I'm sure the cabinet's there original. Stove's original. It's a Coleman. But I that's one thing I want to keep. I love that stove. I like old Coleman stuff, you know, old Coleman stuff. And it's actually called the Holiday by Coleman. You can see there. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, more stuff in here. Like I said, there's the wheel well. So you don't got a lot, but looks like there's some pans. That's the electrical cord that you drag outside to plug in. So that all unwinds back outside, and then you push it back in. So coat hanger there. Just little stuff, you know. You got a paper towel rack. I guess this is towel drying racks there that flip out. And really, that's basically it. You know, I was looking at another one, and they actually had a propane, because, you know, there's propane hookup up there for the stove and this. And I would say it was this fridge was probably propane originally too, I would guess, because I've, you know, seen a lot of propane campers and fridges. But I'm really worried about hooking up propane to it. I think it's mostly going to have to be redone, just because it's, you know, old. Anytime you're hooking propane to an old camper like this, it's pretty iffy. You know, you don't want to mess around with that. You want to make sure you've got no leaks. So I'm probably going to have the system pressure tested, and I can almost guess it's probably going to fail. I just don't know. They said it all works, so I don't know. I mean, they didn't use this. They didn't even have propane hooked to it. They were just told it works before they bought it. But you know how that goes. You can only take somebody's word so many times before you're just done, and you'll find out for yourself. But anyway, I'll show you, if you want to know. There's the old tile. That's what the original tile looked like. So that stuff is just immaculate. Really, if that was all new and that wallpaper was still in here and new, I wouldn't care. But you can see here it's possibly been wet somehow. I'm sure all these windows need to be taken out and resealed, and that way I can check all the wood and everything. I just don't know. I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. I've been watching a guy on YouTube, and he completely took his apart. I mean, he pretty much ripped out everything. He ripped out the floor with all the wall stuff. He took the floor out, and actually, now that I think he might have lifted all the walls off together once it was done. Then he replaced the floor, then he set it all back, and then he did like one wall at a time, I think, because a lot of the sheet metal, once you get it out of, take it off, it doesn't always go back the same way it was. So, you got your old style camper door with your serving slot. Keep the flies out. Pop it open, hand somebody a soda, I guess. Got you a vent for the furnace. A couple old tags. Recreational Vehicle Institute. The other title tags on the other side. Just says 72 Aristocrat and so on. A couple windows are broke, but you know, that's no big deal. And apparently they had one time screwed these shut. I don't know why, but they screwed them shut. I know this window shuts all the way. It's just got something in the way. A lot of little stuff, you know, like these brackets. All these brackets need tightened up and redone. I'm sure this fiberglass probably needs replaced somehow. Unless I can clean it up and paint it, but you can see that one there is bowed pretty bad. I mean, I don't know what I want to do. I'm not going to just throw a bunch of money at it, because I might as well just save my money and buy something. I just want to make it nice enough that it's not falling apart, you know. It's going to be decent. And stuff like this kind of worries me. But see, there's trim here missing, but like behind here, I'm hoping this wood, if it's exposed, hopefully it's still good. That kind of thing. So, but you can kind of see underneath it, you know, it's not in bad shape at all, just rusty. Which, you know, just the steel frame, everything else is, you know, aluminum, so I mean, it's not gonna rust. That's probably about it. But yeah, if you want to leave in the comments what you think I paid for it, you know, and give me an idea what you think it's worth. There's the door I said opens for storage. I don't have the key for that, and I guess they didn't either. So I'll just have that rekeyed, no big deal. That's probably like a $10 lock to have that completely either rekeyed or just replaced. And there's the tag. You probably can't read it, but it says month, year, manufacturer, March of 72, 2,500 pounds gross weight, front weight, 2,500, doesn't have a rear weight, and the number and so on. That's access for the refrigerator right there, that bottom one. This top one, I don't know. I guess that probably would have been ventilation for the fridge when it was propane at the time. I don't know how a propane fridge works, don't ask me. So I'm pretty sure there's propane fridges out there in campers and stuff. I don't know how it works, so this is probably hope that ain't a freaking wasp in there. Probably is. Yep, he's up in there. I don't know if he's in there, but there's a nest. That's probably you know, vent for the furnace. Here you got some kind of flap for something. I don't know what it don't say nothing. That's the sink drain there, I believe. And then it goes into there, hooks into the sewer with that pipe there, the white one. And then you've got your sewer, and then this blue one, you know, you run it to your sewer pipe or whatever. So yeah, quite a bit of work, but mainly I'm going to do the outside. You know, I'm going to do stuff like replace that board that's inside that trim. Get that board around the AC replaced. Redo this window. Probably all the windows, because you can see they're cracking away there. Probably take all of them out. You know, I've helped my family with one of my brothers with some mobile homes he's done. Well, I've taken windows out with him before in mobile homes, and they're basically the same aluminum type windows, you know. And we'll just replace them one at a time, and not replace them, but seal them one at a time. And hopefully I can make this a pretty good camper. That whole bumper there, these bumpers sit so low to the ground that, you know, people catch them. You can see that whole bumper is just cocked out like it's got caught on something before. And I'm pretty sure I rubbed it on the way home on something pulling out of somewhere, but I mean, it didn't do anything more than it's already done, but you know, here you go for some 70s nostalgia. You're following an Aristocrat. So that's, I mean, that's probably going to come off there. I mean, I like it. It's cool, but it's just not in good shape. You see, it's all pulled away. It's cracked there, missing a corner there. It's just not worth it to me to keep it on there for any reason, you know. I would like to actually, you know, once it's all done, if it does look decently nice, I'll get some decals made up for it, because there's tons of pictures of these trailers online, because people redo them and that kind of thing. So, well, we're getting on 20 minutes of me just talking about this trailer, so we'll probably cut it here. As far as updates for this, I don't know how few and far between they're going to be, because, you know, it's just a small project that I'm going to work on in my spare time. So if you don't mind, leave me a comment of what you think I paid for it, or what you think it's worth in your area if you've happened to look around, you know. Just throw it out there, and after I get a few comments, I'll probably tell you guys what I paid for it and that kind of thing, because I think I got a good deal on it. Let me put it that way. For what I see in my area, and it wasn't gutted and all that stuff works, I think I got a pretty decent deal. So anyways, thanks for watching, and subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. Subscribe to all my friends that I'm subscribed to. If I'm subscribed to them, they're pretty good guys. So take a look and enjoy. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.